I'm going to talk about how to cut weight effectively. So, I need to cut down around 40 pounds. For me to cut down weight, I'm going to have to cut out carbohydrates, processed and preserved foods, and saturated and trans fats. So, the reason I need to cut these foods is because they end up building fat and they're pretty unhealthy for you. I've cut down 53 pounds before following a similar method to this. So, the reason why you need to cut out processed and preserved foods is because they have chemical constituents that are very bad for you. And these actually complicate your biological processes and end up building fat pretty badly. So, try to get everything fresh that you can, anything, vegetables, fruits, natural types of foods, nothing processed or made from a factory with chemicals to extend shelf life, because that stuff's not good for you. Um, then for saturated and trans fats, your blood capillaries have rough edges around them, and saturated fats tend to have a linear, stiff, rigid structure. And these straight, stiff structures end up getting caught in your rough edges of capillaries, and they get stuck there, and then they can stack up to cause blockages in your arteries and also cause other health effects due to a worse transportation to your organs. Like if your cardiovascular health is bad, then your whole body is going to be affected because your cardiovascular health is what transports the nutrients to your body. So in that scenario, you need to cut out trans and saturated fats. Trans fats are unsaturated and saturated fats. So unsaturated fats are liquid and room temperature. So anything that's an oil is an unsaturated fat. And they tend to have a more bendable structure, so they could pass through more easily in your bloodstream and they don't always get caught. However, trans fats, hence the name trans, is a mix of both of them. So your body doesn't know what to do with it really well, and they're harder to break down. So trans fats are the worst, and you definitely don't want to have any of them. So, regarding my cutting weight, I'm gonna reduce carbohydrates because carbohydrates also, if you have an excess of carbohydrates, you tend to build fats out of them. If you build fats out of the carbohydrates, your body gets used to an anabolic way of building things rather than catabolic. So catabolic is when your body's used to breaking down fats into sugars. Anabolic is rather building sugars into fats. You definitely want to do catabolic because you're supposed to be actively eating fruits, anything like that, and then getting energy out of them rather than building up a bunch of fats from sugars. So, regarding all of the food and everything, I'm also going to be working out. So this is important because you need to watch your cardiovascular health. And the only way you could improve your cardiovascular health is by activity. So in this situation, I'm going to be doing light weightlifting. And the reason why I do light weightlifting is because it doesn't drain as much energy as strength training. If you're doing 5 sets of the heaviest thing ever, then you're going to get really tired, and you're supposed to be doing cardiovascular activity after. So I'd like to do mixed. I like to do 3 different sets of lightweight training. So I like to do 15 reps, 12 reps, and then 10 reps, and gradually increase the weight by a small increment. And on top of that, you don't want to spend too much time lightweight lifting. Like you do your sets, but you also want to focus mostly on cardio because cardio is what is going to cut down your weight and improve your cardiovascular health. So for cardio, I put myself a 30-minute minimum of high intensity interval training. So high intensity interval training is when you try to have high, like it says, high intensity. So you try to sprint in the middle of your jogging every couple of intervals. And this is important because it increases your heart rate pretty well and makes you burn off a lot of calories which is good because if you're on a time, if you don't want to run for hours, basically, just do a high intensity interval, and it's a lot better. Okay, so as you do this stuff with those, do light weightlifting, cut down your foods, reduce fats, reduce carbohydrates. If you're gonna still eat fats, well, you should still eat fats because your body needs fats to survive. Both your nerve cell conduction requires fats, and your normal cells have phospholipid bilayers that require fats. So you still should be eating fats, just make sure to choose the right ones. Maybe something like coconuts, olive oil, anything that's healthy and good for you. So, I'm trying to do what I planned around 4 out of 7 days a week. So only 4 days I'd be doing this activity. However, the eating, everything, watching the diet has to be constant and daily. And for this, I use the app called myfitnesspal, which is a very good app. You can count your calories and follow your nutrition for free. I'm not sponsored. Please sponsor me, Under Armour. I need money. I love you, please. However, I'm not sponsored, so just yeah, make sure you use that app. Yeah.